Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma met today with members of the Khasi Students' Union to discuss the registration of migrant labourers in the state. Speaking to press after a cabinet meeting, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma stated that the concerns raised by the KSU were addressed during the discussion and their suggestions were noted. In response to questions about the KSU's decision to intensify their drive against migrant labourers, the Chief Minister emphasized that the KSU does not have the authority to conduct registration checks and legal measures will be enforced as necessary. He also spoke on the demand for the implementation of the MRSSA, and he mentioned that he has discussed the issue of the inner line permit and the inclusion of local languages with Union Home Minister Amit Shah.
So basically there was a discussion and we clarified on certain concerns that they had. I have explained regarding the work permit point that was mentioned time and again that there is no provision in the law when it comes to the work permit as such. There is no word called work permit. There was a particular notification to which I am presuming that individuals and organizations are referring to, which use the word work permit, but later on clarified that the word work permit refers to the application of the Interstate Migrant Act. So therefore, that particular notification also ultimately came out with a corrigendum saying that work permit is not the actual word, but work permit means the implementation of the Interstate Migrant Act, which does not have any provision for work permit. But it has a provision for registration of laborers done by the contractor or by the employer. If there are 5 or more who are going to come to the state, they have to come through this particular act and register. So that is what the clarification was made. And they said yes, of course, but the concern is that this registration should be done. We said yes, of course, registrations are there and it should be done in letter and spirit. They raised certain issues and concerns about the actual implementation of the different laws at the state level and at the state level means the state act as well as the national act. And of course, we have taken note of that. And if there are in fact shortcomings, wherever there are shortcomings, then or if there are any concerns anywhere, if they find anything is, then they can obviously complain to us and necessary steps will be taken to rectify them. There were other suggestions that given regarding the State Act in terms of the penalty that is there in the State Act. They felt that it should be slightly more stringent. We said we can definitely examine those matters. Then they are also mentioned about different aspects of verification on how the laborers coming in from outside can be verified. So those also areas we have taken suggestions. We're examining those aspects also. But at the end of the day, what is important that they are concerned about ensuring that whatever rules and laws that are coming out should be implemented in a proper manner. And the purpose should be served of ensuring that migrant laborers who are coming in should have proper documentation in terms of their background check or whether in terms of their identification, their ID cards and all the other formalities. So that is what was concerned, and we're examining, as I said, the different proposals or suggestions given by them, and we'll see how to move forward on those. But that was the discussion we had. You see, I've mentioned this again, which I've mentioned this before and I'm mentioning again, that nobody has the right to check. So I'm reiterating, nobody has the right to check this. So therefore, there are already 10 cases that have been filed against different organizations, individuals who have been doing this. Yesterday in Sora also, very firm action was taken by the police and nothing was allowed. So therefore, whatever, our job is to ensure that the law is implemented, and wherever this kind of things happen, the law will take its course. And if somebody is breaking the law and creating any kind of situation, then the law will take its course. So we had a discussion with the organizations and the members to clarify certain concerns, because I felt strongly that in terms of being clear on the law, in terms of being clear on the provisions of the different acts, should not be a reason for any kind of confusion. And hence, we wanted to make it clear that what has been said, what is in the act, what are the provisions, and also give a hearing to understand what is the actual concerns that are there. So that was the purpose. But as I said, that nobody has a right to check, and if anybody who does that, any organization or any individual does that, the law will take its course. In MRSSA also we have, in fact, there was a small discussion, and we gave them the clarification on what the concerns from the centre were, and the fact that we are pushing it. In terms of the implementation of the original 2016 MRSSA Act, in fact, we have also informed them that the implementation is taking place in letter and spirit. In fact, even now as we speak, even in different localities in Shillong, registrations are taking place, the committees have been formed. So therefore, the question of the MRSSA 2016 Act not being implemented is not there at all. It is being implemented and committees have been formed. Yes, there could be certain districts where the process is not as fast as in other districts, but it will be incorrect to say that it is not being implemented. And if there are concerns, I've told them also, and I've told other organizations also, if there are concerns, if there are issues, let us know. We will ensure, because obviously deputy commissioners and all, there are a lot of activities, a lot of things, situations one has to handle. So there could be certain situations in certain areas where the speed at which things are happening may not be at the level of, say, satisfaction. But if that is the case, then definitely we'll push it. So, but to say that MRSSA is not being implemented is incorrect. They have, in fact, this time also when I went to Delhi, I have raised the issue of the 8th schedule. I have raised the issue of ILP and the issue of MRSSA with the Honorable Home Minister and with the Home Secretary, and we have discussed this matter. So it's not a no, but it's not as yet confirmed, and they are still examining the matter. Of course, we have also asked for clarification from centre, but more importantly, the provisions that are there to protect the indigenous rights of the local people. In many ways, many rules and many acts and provisions are there, and some of them are existing in our state, like for example the 6th schedule and the other acts like our own Land Transfer Act and all these. But in other states, especially when the CAA had come out, there are other areas like Arunachal Pradesh. They do not have provision 6th schedule, and hence there was a demand that there should be some way to put in some kind of mechanism, and therefore the 6th schedule could not be put because there's so many tribes. So therefore the alternative at that point in time was the ILP. Similarly in Manipur also, in the valley areas and even in the outer Manipur areas, there's no 6th schedule protection as such. So wherever this kind of situations were there, they have put in the ILP at that point in time in those areas to create the necessary at least infrastructure or system to provide some kind of provisions for the indigenous people out there. So that is what the background of that. But in the meantime, as I said, the whole concern of this MRSSA and the Article 19 is obviously something that we have also clarified to the central government. We have mentioned that in our particular act that we've put in, it is a registration, and therefore it is providing of information by the concerned citizens who are coming in. So that is not at all in any way infringing into the Article 19 of the Constitution. We have clarified also.